to join can check it out a little bit later. But thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I know, like, as we're winding down the week, you probably had some options on what you could be doing, so I really appreciate you guys being here. And hats off to our awesome hosts and hostesses this week, so Paul and Mary, and then of course Christy and Amber. So it's been a lot of fun to work with them. And for those of you that I maybe have not met yet, my name is Jaime Swanson, and last month was my 18th anniversary with Pampered Chef, which has been such a fun journey. I started when I was 24, so like just fresh out of college after a year or two, very much a hobby for a long time. And you know, it just kind of worked with our family, like as our family grew, and it's just been a great vehicle for me to stay at home with my boys. But you know what, it is also a fabulous way for me to get some time away from my boys too. And there's Candace. Candace is another one of my hosts this week. Candace and her husband are hosting a fundraiser that we're having a lot of fun in too. So, and I've got 2 new consultants that we're running parties for them this week. So I invited their friends to join too. So who knows who's going to end up on this Zoom video chat. So, but super excited that you guys are here. Now, this is really the kind of the cool thing, because I've got team members that are like, why do you like doing live videos? So, well, I was a cooking show consultant for like forever, and I just really like to be able to show the things and how they work. However, the virtual aspect is really, really fun. So I've got a handful of things that I was going to show you. You know, I know Lori was saying she needed some snack ideas. Christy gave me some ideas of things that she wanted to see. And of course, I'm just going to show you a handful of things. And then if there's something else you want to see, feel free to pop it in the chat, so you can type it in the chat. Or once I open up for conversation, you guys are welcome to do that. But what would be super helpful is if everybody hit the mute button right now, so we don't have any interference. Because what will happen is if you're not on mute and the dog barks or the doorbell rings, your picture is going to pop up if someone has it in speaker view, and then they'll miss the part of the demonstration. So that's just a little bit about how Zoom works. Okay, so I guess the first thing that we're going to start with are some snack ideas, and I'm going to incorporate some of the Cool and Serve products. So I use these a ton. So I know there were a handful of people that said that they had some of the Cool and Serve products. So this is the large tray, and I love it. And since we've been home the last couple of months, this actually gets refilled about 3 times a week at my house. And thank goodness it's all fruit. So about 3 times a week we'll refill it, which is great, because I can pull it out for snacks, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm getting a lot more fruit in my family than I used to. And the really cool thing about this is it has little freezer pads. I'll have to run to the freezer and grab it. So if we were going out on the boat or to the beach or even a car trip, you can keep the little freezer pads underneath here, and it will keep it cool between 4 and 6 hours. Now, it does have the deviled eggs, so I'll grab it in just a second to show you. But I wanted to show you like just how convenient it is, because if I have my strawberries washed and prepped, it's just as easy to grab that as it is a bag of Doritos. Don't you agree? So our favorites over the last couple months have been cherries now, strawberries, blueberries. We're going to add some apple. We're going to add some pineapple. Sometimes there's cantaloupe. You name it in there. So I left 2 of the strawberries with the cap on. So what I'm going to do is take this is called the core and more. So basically what you're going to do is just take off just the portion that you need. So there's not a bunch of wasted strawberry. When my dad peels a potato, like he loses about half of the potato because he's not using a vegetable peeler, so he uses a knife. So same thing can happen with your strawberries if you start whacking the top off there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do really doesn't need a lot of explanation, but I'm just going to add some blueberries here to the little holes. But the tool that I'm using, does anybody have this? It's called the Easyread measuring colander, and it is probably one of the most underrated items in the catalog. It is fantastic. It's got a 3-cup capacity. It's slanted like our Easyread measuring cups. It is a colander. Drain it, so black beans are perfect, or if you had kidney beans, something that you'd want to rinse off, like to rinse off with water and let it drain. If you've got a can of chicken or tuna, you can kind of plop it there. squeeze it like that. And then my favorite part is we've got a farm sink. So we don't have the divider, so it hangs on the outside. But if you've got a divider between your sink, it will hang there. So I can just let those blueberries or strawberries, you know, get rid of the water that's there. So, all right. So the next thing that we'll prep will be we'll do some pineapple. Now, how many of you love pineapple? Fresh pineapple? We do too. We probably eat about a pineapple or two a month. And sometimes we get on a kick and I'll buy 2 or 3 at the same time. So did you have a question, Paul? Yeah, unmute yourself.
Yes, I did. Mary would like you to turn the camera down a little bit.
Okay, sure.
Your volume.
If I do that, you may lose my head, but that's okay. You need to see the products more than my head. So, perfect. Thank you.
How's that? Better?
That's a much better view.
Okay.
Okay, super. All right, so I'm going to give you some tips on picking out the perfect pineapple. So a couple of things that you can do. A lot of people will smell it, you know, and I think they all kind of smell pineapple-y. So another thing that I look for is the color. So if it is super, super, super green, it's not quite ready to be cut. You can take it home, especially if you don't need it for a couple of days. But when you start to see the more light green and more of a golden color, that's when it's, you know, ready to cut. Now, another little telltale way is when you try to pull the leaves from the center of the crown here, and they come out pretty easily. That's a sign that it is ready to roll. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to just take the top off and then flip it around and take the bottom off. And you guys, I'm 5'3", and pineapples are pretty tough fruits to work with, so I just cut it down the middle one more time. Now, a lot of people say that they plant the top of the pineapple, but I don't need anything else to look after at my house, okay? So I don't need to have to babysit the pineapple. All right, the pineapple wedger. Does anybody have this already? Love it. Okay, so the pineapple wedger is very much like our apple wedger, but the apple wedger on steroids. So this is intense. So what you do is you just hover over that core, and then you just kind of rock back and forth to get it to go down. Now it is super sharp, so I would never ever touch the bottom to try to push it through. But what you can do is use the cap and then just keep going through, and then you can push it right back through. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Purdy.
Take your voice off.
I think because they're in the same room, it's giving us that feedback. So, all right, so I'll just save the other half for later, but you guys will get the idea. And then you guys are going to love this. This is called the quick slice. So love this. So if you've had our egg slicer from years past, this is kind of like the egg slicer on steroids. So we've got a lot of steroid products right now. So just look at this and look at how even and flat that, I mean, just how quick that we were able to slice that. So I'm going to do that again. And so this time, rather than I'm doing the long slices, I did the slices like this. And then if I wanted to slice it a little bit smaller, and this is really a little bit thinner than I would normally do, but you've got nice little pineapple chunks now. So we've got any there. And just how beautiful is that? Like easy, easy, easy. So stick this over here. All right, let me wash my hands. They're a little bit sticky. All right, so while we're in the fruit department, I'm going to go ahead and use, this is called the close and cut. And you guys, I love this close and cut. So you can do quite a few things with this. So I'm going to show you both with grapes and with cherry tomatoes, how easy it is to slice. But you can also do things like bagels. You can do chicken breast. So like when I go to Harris Teeter and get the $1.99, yeah, don't cut my fingers. I'll do my best. Listen, I'm pampered, not perfect though. There's no telling what will happen here. But when I go to Harris Teeter or even Sam's, a lot of times the chicken breasts are so big. So I'm always worried that I'm just not going to cook it enough, or I'm going to cook part of it too much and then the rest of it enough. Same thing with pork chops. When I buy those at Sam's Club, they're the thick pork chops, and I like those, but I can turn it used to be 9, now it's about 6 you get in a package, but I can turn those 6 pork chops into 12 just by slicing it through here. So what I'll do before I stick it in the freezer is I'll go ahead and slice it. So not only did our portions get more appropriate, our budget just stretched too. So I think that's pretty clever. Now, what it is are these 2 little plates that have springs, so very, very easy to use. Any 7-inch knife or bigger will work. So if you don't have a good 7-inch knife, this color-coded one comes as a set, and that's just fantastic. So what I suggest do is just lay it down before you close it, then you push it down. Now you would imagine that it would squish it like, you know, beyond recognition, but it really doesn't, because they squeeze together. So what I'm going to do is just squeeze, go all the way through, and then look, I've got nice cut grapes there. So when I take Fisher to preschool next year, it's nice to be able to have the sliced grapes, because at preschool they don't let you send full-size grapes. So it's just nice to be able to do that. And especially if you're prepping for a salad, you can do that as well. I wish I had a chicken breast that I could do for you guys. All right, so I'll show you with the tomato as well. So plop it down, go right through there, and then once again, you've got the sliced tomatoes. So, all right, so let's talk about those frozen treats I've been teasing you guys with this week. And by the way, our ice cream was so good. And when I put that pea protein in it, Noah had no clue. And he's just wanting to eat ice cream nonstop because he got braces 2 days ago. And he has no clue that I'm pumping him for a little protein. All right, so we'll come back to these in just a minute. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make some popsicles using the quick sickle maker, and you can do a variety of things. So my boys love chocolate milk ones. We love to crush Oreos and put down in just milk. That's a great option to do. What I'm going to do tonight is we're going to use the quick stir pitcher. I'm going to show you how easy that is to use using just some orange juice, just concentrated orange juice. So I'll do that, and then we'll fill it up 3 times. There's 1. 2. And 3. All right, so how many of you have a quick stir pitcher, whether it's the gallon size or the half gallon? Love it. I have one that stays in my refrigerator all the time with, we just keep sweet tea in it. So it's great. So with concentrated juices like this, or even lemonade, you know, you're constantly having to use a spoon to stir it. So you've got the built-in little plunger there, which is awesome. So really, really, really love that. All right, so what I'm going to do next is just make some orange juice popsicles here using the quick sickle maker. Let me see, what did I do with I have so many of the little sticks that I have to have a container. They need a container. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have kids or grandkids that are around, or even impatient significant others, but this is just a dream come true, because you can do 3 at a time, and it takes 9 minutes. But you can do a total of 3 batches before you have to put it back in the freezer. So it does not require going into the freezer. So I know when we buy the ice pops at the grocery store, you know, just the ones in the little plastic sleeve, my kids are constantly asking, are they ready? Are they ready? So with the quick sickles, this is just ideal. So what I'm going to do is set the timer for 9 minutes, and then I'll take it out once they are ready. Okay, so how many of you got to see the video last night with the quick cooker, or excuse me, with the air fryer? my air fryer. The wings were so good. The boys loved them. We had them for lunch again today, so it was really, really fun. So one of our favorite new snacks that we make all the time are kale chips. So Preston, my 7-year-old, who I tried to get to cook with me tonight, he loves to cook with me, but he just was not feeling it tonight. He's got a real wiggly tooth that should be coming out like yesterday. So I think he's just a little bit paranoid about that. But I made these for one of my parties last week, and in the same day, we made 4 batches of kale chips. I don't know many 7-year-olds that are on that train, but I'm very thankful that
mine is one of them. So what I did, you can buy the fresh kale if you've got kale in your garden. I got this at the grocery store, just a bag of greens. So I can add that to salad. I can steam it. We'll talk about the micro cookers and stuff like that in just a few minutes. But anyway, so I just did the pre-cut kale, and then I've got, this is avocado oil. I don't know if you guys have used that, but I really like the way that it cooks. So I put it in the kitchen spritzer. So this is something that they've done some great improvements over the years on the kitchen spritzer. So, but I'm going to give you a little bit of maintenance information about how to keep your kitchen spritzer working great. So what you do is you just put your favorite oil in it to the level here, pump it up and down until it's really tight, and then you get the aerosol effect without the harmful chemicals of the aerosol, and you didn't just pay $4 for a can of, you know, air basically. So really love that. Now here's one of the first tricks that you have to keep in mind. Every time you use it, make sure you release the pressure, and we call that burping the baby. After you feed it, you got to burp the baby. After you pump the spritzer, you've got to burp the baby. The other thing is, if you ever feel like you're spraying it and it doesn't give you that like spray that kind of like we just did there, and if it's more of a lime, it just needs some hot water and some soap to go through it. So I just put the oil, or put some new oil in here today after doing what I call an oil change. So just like your car, you've got to do an oil change in here. So what I typically do is once the oil is gone, or I'll just pour it into a little container like this that's easy to reload, and then I put some hot soapy water in there and then pump it through until the water is gone. And so that was Preston's job last week. He loved helping me do that. And then just using our beautiful salt and pepper grinders, I am going to just put some salt on there. So you guys, this takes 4 minutes to do, and then I just flip it halfway through. All right, so we're going to just load these trays up. I try not to overlap it, but it's really not terrible if there's a little bit of overlapping. The first time I was so meticulous about getting it on there, and I was like, I think we're fine. So I just kind of spread it out so it's not overlapping too much. And then that's going to go in, okay? All right. All right, so 4 minutes is perfect. And I like my food a little on the crunchier side, and it's perfect. It's perfect at that time. All right, so another snack idea that we love and eat all the time. I'm doing a low carb diet, so this is just fantastic. I use just one of our pieces of stoneware. What temperature for kale chips? Great. So our air fry auto sets to 400. So, and I just put it on the air fry setting, and then 4 minutes, but it will beep halfway through. So at 2 minutes, I'll switch it out. All right. So yes, you can definitely spike the quick sickles. I'm going back through. I'm guessing the quick slice for olives. Absolutely. Or the closing cut. All right. So this is just one of our pieces of stoneware. It's our personal round stone. We have, I think, 4 of these here. So if the kids want to make their own homemade pizza, they can do that while we have one with all the things on it. Sure, at your house, there's probably different opinions on what should be on pizza. So I just load this up.
And then I think 3 minutes makes the perfect crispy. We call them burnt pepperoni. So it's just like the ones on top of your pizza that get nice and crispy. So that just goes right in the microwave. You can do it in the air fryer too. And this personal round stone is one of the approved items that will fit in there, I'm pretty sure. Yep, as long as it doesn't touch the sides. So let me pop this in. All right. I want to show you, but I want to open up the floor for any questions that you guys. I talk about this until midnight tonight. So why don't we find out? I just want to hear some other products that hang on. Right. We'll see. All right, so you can hear me again? Yeah, the microwave's going, the air fryer's going, too much electricity going on in here. Okay, all right, nothing you want to see specifically? Christy, you've been on one of these Zooms before, so anything, I mean, I can make peanut butter. I've got something else to do in the blender to show you. I've got the manual food processor, so I've got a handful of things. And I'm definitely going to talk about our Roundup from the Heart products in just a second. But I just want to know what you want to hear about. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going. I'll keep talking. All right, so another thing that we use and love a lot are a couple of different peeler options that are fantastic. This one is a new one in a set with 3. So it's got a serrated peeler, it's got a traditional peeler, and then it's got a Julienne peeler. So I'm just gonna slice this cucumber real quick. And then I love that it's got, I'm not sure the proper name, but I call it a digger out. So it will dig things right out of the, like potatoes or anything else. All right, and then I'm just going to put it right here on this quick slice. It may taste a little bit like pineapple, but that's not the worst thing in the world. And then slice that perfectly. So once again, I've got an easy snack ready to grab out of the refrigerator, and cold cucumbers are just fantastic. All right, let me go grab the pepperoni. And then look at how perfect those are. Nice and crispy. So good. Nice and crunchy. And just a good little snack. So sometimes we'll eat it with cheese or eat it with crackers or just eat it right by itself. All right, so the popsicles are ready. Let's check on the kale. So yeah, it's nice and crispy. So you've got perfectly just great little chips there, so quick and easy to eat. All right, and then I'm going to bring the popsicles over. Now with the quick sickle maker, it does have this little thing called a key, and that's how you're going to get the sticks out of there, which is really neat. So you basically have to turn and turn and turn until you think you're going to break it and just think you can't turn anymore, and then you turn about 6 more times after that. So eventually it will come out. and you'll have the perfect popsicle. Now, what I love, especially when I do juices and things like that, if I put some strawberries or blueberries in there, it just makes it so, so pretty. So a lot of times we've got chocolate milk ones in the refrigerator, so I'll make batches ahead of time. And then it's just easy to take out. The other cool thing is, Noah only likes chocolate milk. Preston will eat anything, and I just try to give Fisher whatever is going to be the less sticky to clean up, so everybody can have a different popsicle at the same time. If you do put them in the refrigerator with liquor in them, they need to be labeled properly if you've got underage little people. So, or just put them where they can't reach it. But isn't that pretty cool how those come out? Now I overfilled it, so it's just a little bit drippy there on the top. But really love these. So let's get one more out. Now you can't use things like Crystal Light, anything with an artificial sweetener. That it just doesn't work quite as well. But if you did use something like a no sugar and added like a natural sweetener, maybe like some honey or agave nectar, that would do the trick to get it to work. So. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the blender, because man, I love this blender. And so when it came out a year ago, I'm sitting in Chicago, I'm all pumped up, I'm just praying that the air fryer's coming out. I'm like, I know one day they're gonna bring this air fryer out. And they pop up on this big screen that we're getting a blender, and I am heartbroken because I'm like, a blender? I've got a Ninja, like what else do I need? So I got one sent to my house because I earned it as a leader, and quickly fell in love with it. As you've seen this week, this baby cooks. So I do soups. I've got a butternut squash soup that's fantastic. I've got a nacho cheese sauce. We've done sausage gravy. You can do all sorts of things. The last Zoom that Christy was on, we made peanut butter. You know, we can do that if you guys want to see it. It takes about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and I'll mute because it is like, I just can't talk over it. But if you want to see from peanuts, a $1.87 jar of peanuts, we can do that. The other thing that I love to do that's very quick is use the attachment that just came out this season and make powdered sugar out of granulated sugar. So what I'll do here is just take this little attachment cup, which is perfect for like iced coffees. You can do smoothies. Preston makes smoothies all the time, and it's so funny. He's my 7-year-old, and my oldest, I have to make his bowl of cereal, but my 7-year-old's in here making kale chips, pepperoni, and smoothies on his own. So you can tell I learned from what I needed to improve on with the second kid. So it just has a little attachment. Now I can make sugar with the larger one, with the larger thing, but it looks like dry ice. There's like all this smoke, or not smoke, but just dust that comes out. So I've learned that it's ideal to make it using the smaller cup. So I'm just going to flip it on, and then I'm just going to go to the grind feature and then watch that sugar turn into powdered sugar. So that only took like 15 seconds, if that. And so there we've got a nice little powdered sugar. So I'll have to think of something fun and easy that I can do with that now. But I just love that. It's super multifunction. You can grind coffee beans with it. So if you've got some fresh coffee beans, you can do that as well. So really, really cool. All right, do you guys want to see peanut butter or not? Either way is fine with me. All right, so let's see, what are you using the microwave steamer for? Okay, so we'll come back to that. Do you ever use seasonings on the kale? Usually I just do the salt. The salt's perfect, but like garlic would be wonderful. Even we've got a garlic infused canola oil that's delicious. I should probably try that the next time. So that's a great idea. All right, so let's talk about the micro cookers. All right. So these have gotten an upgrade over the last couple of years. So they all nest together. There's a smaller one, but I think it's in the dishwasher. So the large one is what used to be our rice cooker, which is still basically our rice cooker. The small one, or the middle one, and then there's one that's a little bit smaller. So these are great because they're a BPA-free plastic that you put in the microwave. So things like soups, you can do canned vegetables, you can do frozen vegetables, fresh vegetables. You can pop those into steam in those. With this larger one, I do rice. You guys, I haven't made rice on the stovetop in years, outside of using our multi-pot that I'll show you in just a second. So it just goes on here like this. So it has like a second level or 2 layers of protection to keep the water from boiling over for your rice. I'll also do mashed potatoes in here. So I'll peel my potatoes, cube it, cover it about halfway with milk, butter, salt, and pepper, and then 16 minutes our family has mashed potatoes. So here in the South, where it's so hot, especially during the summer, anything that I can keep my oven and stove top off, I'm going to do it. So I do a lot of microwave cooking, and then now that the air fryer, it doesn't put off a lot of heat. And then of course with our quick cooker, which is our instant pot, love it because it's just quick and easy. So last night after I made wings, I was in the refrigerator just kind of straightening up, and I was like, oh, I had this like little bunch of collards, like just one little handful of collards that I got from a produce box, and I'm like, I'll just throw some bacon grease in there, and in 25 minutes, I had delicious collards from my quick cooker that didn't stink up the house all day. So I love that. Now, it stunk up the house today when we woke up. I was like, what happened here? And I was like, oh, that was me. Sorry, guys. So I really love these. Another thing that I do with the micro cookers a ton is I'll put ground beef, like a pound or 2 of ground beef, or even like a little chub of sausage. And then like if I do 1 pound, it takes about 7 to 8 minutes. So I'll put it in there, kind of break it up, cook it for 4 minutes, then use the mix and chop. Does everybody have the mix and chop? Let me grab it. Oh my gosh, this is like #1 seller all the time, every year. So it's got like a star design. So what you do is you just chop your hamburger or your sausage, whatever you're gonna do there to kind of break it down. I personally, here's a little tip for this. When I go to make tacos or spaghetti, I get the meat started before I start chopping, because it ends up getting like the raw meat there, and you spend some time trying to get it off. So I get it started, kind of mix it around with my scraper, and then I chop it. Now, this is really multi-purpose, because if you had a pie crust, you could stamp the crust here, or if you had like a peanut butter cookie, rather than dragging your fork through there, you could stamp it with this. So a lot of fun things that you can do with the mix and chop. All right, let's see what we've got now. All right, so somebody said it's their fave, couldn't live without a mixed job. I know, I'm pretty spoiled. When I go on vacation, so when I laugh at that, never have I ever little thing I do in the pre-party, because I'm like, when I go on vacation, I look like I have more kitchen products than I do clothes. When we evacuated for Hurricane Florence, no kid, my oldest did not have underwear, but we had the popsicle maker, we had the quick cooker, we had the rock crock. I mean, I looked like I was like moving, but no, we didn't have underwear. So, okay, you said to make guacamole. Perfect. All right, yeah, Candace, we're gonna get you one. Candace, it's been a while since you've been to a party, right? I think she said it had been, 10 or 12 years since she had been to a party. All right. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 products that are really fun, and they're helpful this season. So this is called the Scoop and Spread. So you've got like a little silicone in here, so perfect for like peanut butter and jelly. You could do butter and cream cheese, really any combination of things that you'd want to do. But it's one tool; you don't have to grab out separate things. So I've got some. Look, I'm down to the end of my homemade peanut butter. I'm going to have to make some soon. So I'm just going to get that on there, spread it on. All right, and then I'm going to put the other half on there. Now, if I were doing it for the kids, jelly on there. Linda, I'm going to mute you, and then we'll bring you back in just a second. So I would, just put more toppings on there. But this is called the cut and seal. So it used to be round, but I think they made an upgrade because it makes it way less waste. So before, when it was round, you just had a lot more waste. And now basically you're just cutting the corners off. So watch this. Just kind of rock back and forth. And then I'll pull the edges away and then just push from the middle. And then you've got a sealed sandwich. How cool is that? Isn't that fun? All right, so what you can do with these, especially like if I pray that school goes back, sorry teachers, but my kids, we do better when we get a break and then they have some real instruction. You can freeze these. So you could, like on Sunday or whenever you had some time, make a big batch, stick them in the freezer. By the time the kids are ready to take them out of school, or even yourself, you would have a nice thawed out sandwich. But each one of these products are our Roundup from the Heart program this year. And so $1 of each one of these will go to a food bank where your host lives. So Paul, you guys would go up in your area for a food bank, and then Christy and Amber, theirs would stay here locally, which I love that. And for every $1, it's approximately 10 meals. Same thing for Candace and her family. They're in the Charlotte area. So $1 would go to a food bank in your area. Now, the other thing that will happen is if you round up your order to the next $1 or even several dollars, that money is going to go to a food bank. And I tell you, the food banks are like, they're providing more now than they have, because, just more people are in need right now. So, all right. What questions do you guys have? I've talked to you enough. Let's hear what you guys want to know about. Did you see something new tonight that you were curious about, or you guys can come off mute if you want. All right, the family is about to walk in. This may be loud, so just be prepared. The last one that we did, Christy can vouch, like the big boys were babysitting, and that didn't go too well. So Fisher ended up helping me with the rest of it. It was not good. Do you do shrimp in the air fryer? Super, super, super. So, and I'll go up from there. The shrimp in the air fryer. My husband's not a big shrimp eater, and I'm already a short order cook for my oldest. So I personally don't make shrimp, but I've had the coconut shrimp in there, and it is to die for. You could even buy the frozen pre-breaded shrimp, and I'm sure it would be fantastic. So we're just not big seafood eaters here. I just choose to order that when we go out. Did I mention the knife set? Okay, so nope. Let's talk about the knives. So we do have two different lines of knives. So we've got the forged cutlery here, and then we've got the color coded. They are both fantastic, but let me just tell you a little bit about the difference. So we'll start with the color coded. These are what's called a stamped knife. So just imagine a piece of metal. They mass produce about 20 at a time. So they stamp them out and then move on to the next sheet. So that's kind of how I think about that. Also, the blade ends just probably about a thumb's width into the plastic handle. So it's just, it's a good knife, but not quite the quality that we've got here. These have a 1-year guarantee. Whereas these are a forged knife, so more of a handcrafted. You can imagine like a piece of metal being put in fire, hammered down, and forged. This one has the full tang, so the metal goes from the top all the way through the bottom. So anytime you see one like this, it's just a higher quality knife. And then this has a lifetime guarantee. So when you look at the price difference, you're probably looking at, I don't even know. I don't even pretend to know prices, but let's just say $30 versus $85 or something like that. So you can buy the color coded ones in a set, and then we do have the amazing knife block over here that you can get as a set, and that's one of the most that and the cookware and like the power tools, like the air fryer, the quick cooker, things like that. That's a very common Host half price item or something that Host choose for free. And then let's see, what products do you use to make dough? So we, I've got a great dough recipe. I'll try to remember to post it in everybody's party, but it's just a really quick and easy dough that I'll make for pizza dough. I'll make for strombolis, but a lot of times I do have a lot of, I'm kind of like a, you know, Betty Crocker and Martha Stewart, like we talked about the pre-party. But I will buy like the fresh dough at the grocery store over in the, there's Preston. You want to say, hey, come cook with me. This is Preston. This is my middle one that's got the wiggly teeth. So, but at the grocery store, like for example, I was at Food Line today. So over by the deli, they've got like a bag of dough, and it's not expensive at all. It's probably less than $2, maybe $2.50 or something. But that's a great dough to use. And then sometimes you can find in the freezer section another type of dough. But with that, I typically will use like my stand mixer if I'm making homemade dough. All right, let's see what else. Anything else you guys? All right, so if you think of anything else, let me know, because I'll be going live tomorrow in all of our parties, and feel free. I'd love to show some other stuff that you guys want to see. Who knows what I'll end up doing? I've got a hair appointment tomorrow, so I'll wait until after my hair is done and I get rid of the quarantine hair, and then we'll see what my hair has potential for. So, well, good, Lori. I'm so glad that you. Yeah, sure. The cover that comes with the colored knives, absolutely. So with the color-coded knives, they just have little sleeves. And that brings up a really good point, Paul. I'm glad that you asked about that. We do have replacement parts for many of our popular items. So if you lost one of the sleeves for your knife, or you needed some new lids for your prep bowls, things like that, we do replacement parts for a lot of things. So you wouldn't have to buy a whole new chopper if just your clear part was cracked after the warranty time. That's another important thing. Let me tell you about our warranties. So everything with the exception of our cookbook, spices, and a couple of the glass items have at least a 1-year guarantee. So I think that's awesome. That's part of what you're buying into with Pampered Chef. So you've got a 1-year guarantee. Some have 2, 3, 5, or even a lifetime. So for example, the knives, all of the cookware. So we talked about cookware today. So the stainless nonstick, the nonstick, the cast iron, all of that has a lifetime guarantee. And you guys know, like if you use cookware a lot, like you want something. I mean, it's something that a lot of us use daily, even if it's just like my family had sandwiches tonight, so it's just nice to know that whatever I have, I'll have for a long time. And even the salad choppers, you guys, I love our salad choppers. I'll make sure I demo those tomorrow, but have a lifetime guarantee. Here's another really important thing. So let you guys know through post and through my live video in the beginning that the shipping is delayed. It, just is what it is. They are doing everything they can to get things moving, but typically we have a 30-day, like after you get your product, they give you 30 days to decide whether you love it or hate it. And if you don't care for whatever you got, or you're just like, oh, it's just too big, too small, they'll send you a label, but they're giving us 120 days now. So they're giving you some extra build-in time, which I love that. But you've got 1 full year from the time you purchase or until the time the products get to you, for if something breaks or you can get a refund however you paid, or you can trade it out for another product. After the full year, if it was damaged, you just have to trade it out for the same thing. They just would replace it with the same. So I think that's important to know. So if you get something and you don't love, let me know. Like we want you to love what you've got. And if you've got things that you're not sure what to do with, private message me and I'll send you recipes and stuff like that. So all right, what products are great for stir fry? Ooh, I love that. Let me grab. So we've got this amazing wok that is so beautiful, but it's got the nonstick interior, the nonstick but stainless. So you get be cooking that stainless will give you, but you get the nonstick that we all love for is great. You've got was Paul showing off his cookware? I love it, love it. So listen, I think Paul should be consultant. I'm telling you, we've been working on him, haven't we, Linda? Just trying to get him on board. So some other cool things. Oh, I wanted to show you also the cool and serve bowls. So these were an addition last summer. We were really excited to get these. So we've had the trays for a while. So these are great for when you're doing like a larger dip, or if you had like potato salad or something like that. So this would be the little pad that would go down in there. And then that would go in there, and then you've got the lid, so perfect for taking to potlucks and things. I'm pretty sure the outside of this was like in the garage in a bin with some overflow stuff, but this is the size and the insert for the small cool and serve. So you really could take this like in a lunchbox to have whatever you wanted, and then this is the larger bowl, so you could really pack some great stuff in there. All right, anything else? All right. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. I just, you listen, you know, I'm in a wonderful position. I don't necessarily have to work. I can be mom, and that's all I have to do. But I really love this is my outlet. I love, and like Carol and Linda and Christy and Amber, you know, all been to a lot, and Gidget too. Like they've all been to tons of my parties. Actually, Christy and Amber were at like my first party in Wilmington after I moved back from Charlotte. So they've seen me over the years and have been great supporters. And I love it. This is, I tell people that this is the way that I can be home with my kids, but it's the way I can get away from my kids too. So I really enjoy it, and I miss my cooking shows. So next Friday, I've got we're kind of testing out some, maybe a very small group in a very, distancy kind of way, because I'm just missing my cooking stuff. But it's just been great, and I love. My degree is in therapeutic recreation, so I worked with kids with autism for a long time. I've worked in a variety of settings with my career, and I don't know, I just love to be able to teach people. So I've got a great team of folks that I love working with, and I'm just sharing my love for this. And the majority of them don't love to cook, so that's really fun to help them, just the light bulb go off for them to realize that they can do more than a can of soup or something. So tons of fun. All right, you guys. So, the manual chopper, you want to see that? All right, so the manual food processor, love that. So we'll throw a couple of these cucumbers in here. Awesome, this blade has three different blades. So I'm just going to put that down in there. So not only will it chop, but it will mix too. And the more food you have in there, the better it mixes around. And then you can decide how coarse or how fine you want it. So now if I were going to make like a cucumber dip, that would be perfect to put down in there. All right, so breakfast. Okay, big breakfast family here. So I've got a couple of breakfast things that I love to do. One of our favorites, and when we have company, we'll do this. So I'll take the large bar pan, take 2 cans of crescent rolls, press those down, make them even. I'll take a pound of sausage, put it in that micro cooker, cook it for about 7 or 8 minutes in the microwave, drain it, put 1 bar of cream cheese, and then you slather it out. So I'll make sure that I share that recipe tomorrow with you guys. And then you bake it for 18 minutes or so, and then cut it into little squares, and it is delicious. Everybody loves it. When it's my turn to cook for small group, that's what I make. It's good, and it's great because you can a week, just little pieces out. I eat it cold after the first time. I'm like, I don't want to warm it up. I just want to eat it. So, All right. If you guys think of anything else, let me know and I'll try to incorporate it in our videos tomorrow. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us. This was fun, and it was so much fun to see everybody's faces because everybody's profile picture is a little different. So now when I get to see you all moving around, that's a ton of fun. So, all right, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.